Hey, what's up, you guys? My name is Cybersnowwolf, and welcome back to LEGO Arts. So, in the last episode, we went over Kingdom Hearts Wave 3 Birth by Sleep editions. And now this episode is actually going to be a little bit different. Excuse me. So, I was originally going to do LEGO Justice League, but after my recent trip up to Denver Comic-Con, I got like a couple of new DC minifigures that I had to push aside, to like modify. So Justice League has been pushed back a bit, and I figured out like I owe it to you guys to like do another showcase. Okay, but while I was up there, I decided to like take a few minifigures that I got at the con, but I'm not really gonna like modify so much. Like I might give them a few accessories, but in general they really look exactly what I want. And so consider this as like the first episode of LEGO reviews for where I'll be taking like some sets or like some other custom minifigures that people have made and sort of like do reviews on them, like, and then like what I like, what I don't like, or like, and so on and so forth. So for this video, as you can see, we have Jack Skellington and Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, Rinsler from Tron, a CW edition of Black Canary, Laurel Lance, and Loki from Thor Ragnarok, Hellboy, Voltron, and anti-venom. All of which were very well made. So, as usual, we're going to take these minifigures like one at a time, and give a full review on them. Okay, so to start off with our set, we have Jack Skellington, and this minifigure was actually pretty well made. Like, when I saw the minifigure, I thought like, ooh, let's get this one. And whoever designed this minifigure did a very nice job. So like, if we look at the minifigure, like look at the torso or so, they did a pretty good job of like getting the striped patterns on the suit, the bat's bow tie, they did a very well job with that one. They even continue on the detailing with on the arms for the suits, same on both sides, and on the legs. And they even continue on that pattern like towards the back of the legs and the back of the torso or so. I think my only complaint with this minifigure would have to be like the head. The head is not exactly accurate to the actual Nightmare Before Christmas. It looks more Day of the Dead and kind of like, which I don't know why they chose to give it that kind of face, and I didn't even realize that until like after I got the minifigure. So it looks kind of weird. It doesn't look exactly like, it doesn't look fully consistent with the minifigure. But in general, but aside from the head, I'd say this is actually a pretty good minifigure. This is actually pretty good. And I really like it. So, now that we're done with Jack, let's move on to our next minifigure. So speaking of Nightmare Before Christmas, we also have Sally from there as well. And like the Jack Skellington, there was, whoever designed this really, like, paid attention to detail. Like, as you could see, like, they got, like, her patched dress as very well nicely. They actually gave her the proper face, which is good. And, like, the stitches even continue on to the back. So, like, the arms, and the pattern continues on to the back, like, the back of the torso and the back of the legs, which is a pretty cool detail as well. She was carrying this rod at the time when I got this minifigure. I didn't just, like, put that on. And that was sort of, like what the seller decided to do. But the only complaint I really give to this minifigure is the hairpiece, because when you look at Sally's hairpiece, like when you look at Sally's hair from the movie, it's more slicked back. It's not really curly or wavy. I'm not entirely sure like why they chose to go with like the standard female hairpiece at the time. It kind of works, I guess, but in general, it looks a little. It doesn't look fully accurate to Sally. But other than that, this minifigure was very well made. It's actually pretty cool, and I did like it. I like it how they paid attention to like all the details, of like the outfits of like how it should look like, and even onto the back and the legs. I don't really see that with most LEGO customs. Like it's always like the torso and the waist and then the front of the legs, never really the back of the legs, which is actually pretty cool that they include that. Okay, so now that that's done, let's move on to our next minifigure. So next up on our list is Rinsler from Tron, and this like wasn't. It's not really a custom minifigure. It's actually a brand from Lego, and I didn't realize that until like I saw a video on YouTube on that. One of Lego's latest projects on Lego Ideas was they did a Tron set, which actually looks pretty cool. Very cool. So when looking at this figure, you're like they really paid. I guess since it was like a single set, they really paid attention to like the details of Rinsler's suit. Rinsler's suits, like they added full on like decals. Onto the legs onto the waist, and it perfectly lines up to the rest of like the suit. And they even did like little designs to the helmet itself. On the back, you can see of like where the disc is supposed to be. When I got this minifigure, he didn't have any of the discs, so like he can't do the cool like throw disc effect. But what I like about this minifigure is that like if we remove the head, well, the helmet, we actually get Tron's head rather than just like a standard black head. We actually get a face underneath, which actually that looks pretty cool. And it also saves some trouble for me. Like if I ever wanted to like redesign this minifigure, like make it look more like Tron again, like sort of bring back the goodness in Rinsler. It would save me the trouble of having to go off, of having to like figure out a face for Tron. So this really helps. So this really helps out a lot on that one. Right. So now that this minifigure is done, let's move on to our next one. Next up on our list is CW Laurelance Black Canary minifigure, and I really like this one. So as you can see, like with the minifigure, they also paid attention to like the front legs and legs with like the belt loops around. They didn't do anything on the side, which is kind of sad. But they also paid attention to like the waist area and the torso. The torso was very well made. On the side arms, we have like the little belt loops are where they're supposed to be. The waist pattern continues onto the back, and like if we remove the torso, remove the hair. There we go. We look at the torso, we actually see like more detailing on there, and of course like the face mask, as with the lips, it all looks very well made, and the hairpiece itself is unique as well. I think it's like one of those rare hairpieces that I didn't know existed until I actually saw it. And let's take a brief moment to do like a little compare and contrast. So here's like the Black Canary that I got, and here's mine. You can clearly like see the differences in them. Like the suits designs are close, but they're different. Obviously the hair pieces are different as well. And if you look at the back, you see that they're roughly close. Just that this one's different. I think that this was originally looking like this, but maybe they took the hairpiece, like modified it a little bit, and then printed off like some new molds into it. And with my Black Canary, there's actually more details, like on the arms and the legs, and of course has a little like sonic scream device. Nice, but in general, this is a really good minifigure. I really like this one. And I was glad to get it. Okay, so now let's move on to our next one. So of course, next up is the God of Mischief himself, of Loki, the Thor Ragnarok edition. And this was actually cool to get. So like when I was at one of the booths, I saw this, and I was like, "Ooh, that looks awesome!" So I got this minifigure, and I was very impressed with the designs that this was made. So as you can see, like the legs, and they got the detailing, of course, the waist, and like pull up the cape a little bit. I don't know if you guys can fully see it. There we go. But of course, like the pattern continues on to the back, and even like the shoulders, all the straps. Let's continue on. The arms they have printing as well with like the green and the yellow. Very nice. And of course, these got like the blue knives. They actually didn't come like this. They were just like plain blue knives. But when I came home, I decided like, ooh, let's make them let's make the bladed edge silver. So I did to make them look more like the knives from Ragnarok. Of course, he's also got his helmet. I think like an only complaint I would give to this minifigure is kind of like the face. The face, it really looks like Loki's. It really does. but I think I prefer like the Legos version of what's their Loki head looked like. It looked more mischief, and it really like showed out of who Loki was. He was, but in general, this is actually a pretty good and a good Loki minifigure. So I was glad to get this, and plus it's like first Marvel villain, yay! Okay, now let's move on to like one of the cool custom minifigures. Right, so next up on our list is actually something that I didn't even know existed until I actually saw it, and that is Hellboy. Boy, this was very cool. Very cool. When I saw this at the booth, I was just like, "Oh, that looks awesome!" Looks awesome. The only like addition I really gave was the gun, because he didn't have the gun, but I decided like, "Ooh, he needs his big gun. He needs the big gun." And of course, like you can see like the detail, and they put the detailing on the arms with like even the little logos. That's very cool. If you look at the trench coats, you got like the hair pattern. Hair pattern continues on. I like it how it's just like they paint the hair on the head rather than just like trying to give him a headpiece. This still looks cool in general. As you can see, like he's got his like mean aggressive face. The little circles of where the horns would be. He's even got a little cigar smoking in there, and of course, like we see like his torso. So the whole muscle pattern here, and I think this is supposed to be like the holster where you put the gun in, and like hang on, if we can get like some good lighting. Okay, thank you. There's more detailing like on the legs. Like we see like some straps where his feet would be. And sort of like his miniature arsenal here, and of course like his glove. His glove is of course like a normal Lego gauntlet. And like one of the best things I think about this minifigure is the trench coat. Let's see. Okay, get one arm off there. There. Okay, there we go. It should be easy to get back on. Is the trench coat piece. Like I've seen that this was actually a thing, but I guess this was like one of those brands that Lego stopped doing after a while. But in general, this looks pretty cool. Like sort of gives it a unique kind of factor to it. I was even like gonna try to use this factor like back when I was making like Castiel, and my Lego Supernatural sets, but I decided like it probably won't work out. But I'm glad that's when they designed Hellboy that they gave it to him. So like on the back, there's even like little details on the back. Like now that I think about it, did Hellboy had a tail? I think he did. I'll have to look that up later. But for now, like this is actually a good minifigure. I really like this one. And again, like as soon as I saw that this actually existed like at the booth, I just had to get this. And this, I mean, how could I not? It's super unique, and it's actually something that's I honestly wouldn't have thought of. Until like maybe someone mentioned it, like, ooh, dude, maybe you should do a Hellboy. But when I saw this, it was just like, oh my god, it's actually a thing. It's awesome. So now let's move on to the second coolest minifigure of all. And next up is pretty much one of the craziest minifigures I have ever seen. The defender of the universe himself, Voltron. When I saw this, I was like, how is this even a thing? Like, no joke. When I saw this, my jaw dropped, like, oh my god. And I even asked the booth, like, did you make this? And they told me it's just like, no, we merely worked with the manufacturer that built this. We just sell it. But in general, it was awesome. This is so cool. It's so cool, and pretty much one of the most unique minifigures I have ever seen in my entire life. And that's coming from a customizer himself. So, looking at this minifigure himself, I liked how they paid attention to, like, details, like, of how classic Voltron would look like. So, like the details on the fronts, the back, arms, and, like, all the legs as well. The legs, as you can see, are the lion's heads. But what I find super unique about this is that, like, if you look at the hands, I don't know how they did this in this. I don't know how long this took, but they actually designed the hands to make it look like the lion heads. That's insane. And it's just like, Oh my god, how is that even possible? And they even like designed like Voltron's sword, the blazing sword. Sword looks pretty cool. I've already tried before. I can't get the sword off, but it's like one of those things. Like, do I really want to take it off? Because it looks cool in general. It looks very cool in general. And of course, like, there's like the head. I actually tried this out earlier, but this is actually removable. So this is like a helmet, and this like the jaw goes underneath the head. Like puts that on. Let me get that back on. There we go. And also, of course, like looking at the back, we have the wings, and this was like a very simple design. Like it looks like they just took like one of these standard pieces you would put on a Lego minifigure for like a backpack or something, for like jetpack. And for the wings, like they did it a simple design, like not too complicated, but not too like cheesy, not too complicated, just pretty simple. And it's simple, and it works. Works very well. So, again, like I don't know who made this. I don't know how they did this, but this is freaking amazing. Like I have never seen a custom minifigure like this. This is super unique. This is super cool. And whoever made this, good job on you. Now, let's move on to our last minifigure and what I think is going to be one of the craziest ones. So lastly is possibly one of the most unique big figs I have ever seen, and that is anti-venom. When I saw this minifigure, I thought like, what the fuck? This is so unique. This is so crazy. See, and when I got a closer look, it's just like, oh my god. And whoever like designed this minifigure like really thought out through of like what anti-venom would look like. Like they got like the face and even did a little eye details. They gave him thorns on top of the head, and of course like there's like some thorns on his arms and a little bit and some on his shoulders. But what I find the most unique thing about this minifigure, hold still, Auntie, is the claws. Like, they're not just standard Lego hands, they're actual claws, which is so crazy. It's just like, cool. You can really make him do like the slash attack. It's so cool. And of course, like, they did, like, the full-on giant spider emblem with, like, and they even included the pattern like to go around the shoulders, and then like of course the little spider on the back. And with this minifigure, I didn't get this because like I thought like, ooh, I can customize it. No, I got this because it looks so crazy. It's just like I just need to get this. And it was pretty much the reason like why I got all of these, because especially this one because it's so huge, and big figs for me are like very rare. But when I got this one, it's just like what? So this is very cool. And again, whoever made this anti-venom, good job on you. You did an amazing job. So let's go ahead and wrap this video up. And that concludes this episode of Lego Arts / reviews. I really hope you guys enjoyed this little video. Again, sorry I didn't like show like my customs, but don't worry. Like in the next video, it's gonna be customs. I'll even like at the end of this video, I'll give you guys a little teaser of like what it is coming up next. But the website, but the booth that I got like a majority of just minifigures from, where I got like Voltron, Rinsler, Black Canary, Hellboy, and anti-venom, and I got them from a small little company, a small little business called Brick Bunch. If you guys want to check out their website, I'll include it. I'll include a link in the description below. They sell like hundreds of different kinds of minifigures, and they're all very well made. So if you guys want to check them out, I highly recommend you do that. So again, like some updates. I'm currently working on like multiple different projects. I just finished like one today, so I'm gonna show it to you guys tomorrow. And I'm almost done with another big one, but I've got like a few more minifigures to modify a little bit before I do like a full release. So I'll keep you guys posted on that one. And as soon as I'm finished done modifying the DC minifigures, I'll do a showcase on Justice League. I will give you a warning. It's not gonna be like movie Justice League. It's gonna be like my own DC interpretation of the Justice League. So have no fears about that. And anyways, remember, teaser is gonna be at the end. And for now, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, hit that like button, comment below what you think, share this to your friends, subscribe for more content, and here's a howl for the road. Ow! Thank you guys, and I'll see you next time when the ice moon rises. Next time on LEGO Arts.
This match will get red hot. Now go!